Hello and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and nerdy-ass Tumblr users transcend geography through the power of Skype to play Dungeons and Dragons and critically fumble a lot. Um, Very quickly, we will do introductions because we have another new player. Let's hope he hangs around better and longer than the last one. Everyone, meet Ben, a longtime friend, known him longer even than Ethan, and the only one of the lot of you who doesn't have a Tumblr. I may have to change the name.
I
Yes,
can always get a Tumblr and just leave it blank.
you could. I mean, to be fair, Noms only uses his to reblog shit anyway.
The same. It's pretty much
Yeah,
what mine is too.
yeah, I think it's only me and Lindira who actually use it to say things. One with more regularity than the other.
I'll eventually get around to posting stuff I work on.
I know. I'm mostly teasing. Anyway, yes. With Ben, beware the puns. He will be coming to us as Nye, the wood elf warlock. Going on down the line from knowing you longest to knowing you the least amount of time, we go to Ethan. You know Ethan. Ben knows Ethan.
Yep.
Actually, it's
If
because
I know.
of Ben I met Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
As I recall, you were the one who allowed me to be able to get to New York to meet the man. This is all your fault. He comes to us as Darwin the human bard. And believe it or not, he's more or less become the leader of this band of loonies.
Or at least the talking head. I wouldn't say leader so much as talking head.
Most of the ideas and plans have been run past you and approved by you before they were done.
Holy shit.
You are now the party face and party lead.
Oh crap, we're screwed.
And we lost Ben. Right in the middle of introductions.
I'm like, I honestly didn't realize that was the case until now. It just sort of happened so gradually. Great, I'm the frog in the frying pan.
He's probably going to be back in a few minutes. It's that internet hiccup thing again. So while we're waiting for him, we will do the brief overview of what has been going on in the previous sessions. The group, as you see them before you, more or less, reached Belarus, where Sigwald Sullivan, their wizard companion, for various reasons, decided that he was going to stay with the academy, partially because he had a great deal to learn. This lot are basically doing shopping and prep in preparation for tomorrow morning's fight versus sea hags. Meeting Hazel's foster sister, Andre, for tours around and cheap market eats. You with us, Ben?
I have just rejoined. My internet did the thing that I knew
Yeah,
my internet was going to do.
We kind of figured that.
So I'm now on phone internet while I wait for the computer to behave again.
I was just very briefly going through what happened in the previous session. Froseth is currently having very expensive arcane tattoos done, courtesy the governor of Cray Umha up in the north, which there are reasons for this. The reasons are actually fairly similar to why these lot are going after sea hags in the first place. They are going because not only are they probably going to get bits of sea hag for more tattoos, but also they are basically proving their worth to the governor of the province they're currently in, because he is going to help them find what they need to create a dragon slaying weapon to deal with the black dragon that is currently ruling the country to the west, Baronsvere, where 3 out of this lot actually hail from. So very quickly, while we sort of have a Ben, you've met Smeagol. He plays Hazel, our half-elf cleric. Down there, the the other red-headed gentleman is Noms. He comes to me from the Star Wars The Old Republic RP, which we still do. He comes to us as Remy, the human but almost dwarf short paladin. And then we have Lindira, who I know from Dragon Age fandom. She's cute. She really is adorable. And very, very funny. She comes to us as Clarity, the Tiefling Rogue. Although she might be the first of you to multi-class.
We'll see. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Did you have a look at the Gloomstalker stuff?
Yeah, it sounds really interesting, but also like there's a lot of very useful rogue stuff that continues to keep happening when you level up. So
but there is one thing that being ranger just in general gives you that might be useful from a party-wide perspective. Pass without trace.
yeah. There's definitely stuff to consider there.
That was the sound of the
art. What you do best.
That was the sound of the joke flying so far over my head it had to file a flight plan.
There is not just one joke, but my brain ricocheted from Froseth's Natural One back in Star Coast after the fog, and then went to before the fog.
My natural one.
No, you actually were one. It was Mira and Darvin that got out of that one. It was Clarity hadn't put her hood on quite right, so one of her horns was sticking out.
Yes.
And Nora stepped on Hazel's cloak and pulled it right off. So all three of them went to jail.
I was
yeah,
also
Nora had a nat 1, and then I think like Hazel and I didn't do quite so well on the
Right.
stealth.
Yep.
As usual.
For Hazel,
Skated into
9
us,
for
basically.
you.
And I had, I was thinking of the time that I was trying to go, when we were down in the basement, and I was trying to go through, and I tripped over a bunch of boxes, and there was old cookware, or pots and pans. Yeah, there was the nat 1 on my stealth roll, and way right into the crates.
So
Why do I suddenly have yakety sax stuck in my head?
Pretty much,
Because
yeah.
that's us in a nutshell.
It really is, yes.
All right, I will be back in about 2 seconds.
It's not like Noms. It's not like these guys haven't had plans. They've just kind of fallen apart a little tiny bit. Maybe.
We bumble more often than not.
Critical bumble.
All plans do that whole contact with the enemy thing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it tends to be before you even meet an enemy, and sometimes there's a reason that you do meet an enemy, like after you found Melinda, and you decided Hazel decided she was going to stomp down and kill those responsible. The building had been on fire. The floor was weak.
Was this or was this not their fault?
No.
This was not their fault. The
Building was on fire when we got there, I swear.
That's
So you didn't no, not finishing that sentence.
No. I know where you were going. No.
We've spent a half an hour on this. If this runs long, it's your fault. Anyway. I'm not even. When we rejoin the Cupcake Coterie, these guys are leaving Arcane Inc., the magical tattoo parlor. Darvin has an upcoming performance and a date, kinda.
Kinda, sort of, maybe. He said I was cute.
And you guys have to get to the food stalls around the main market square to meet up with Andre. But while you guys are doing that, we'll deal with him. No. You have only just come off the boat a couple of hours ago. You've been more or less taken under the wing of a halfling who served as scout for the mercenary group that found you. She is second in command. Her name is Adrai. And she's like, don't worry, I'll get him sorted somehow. And sort of stands in while she talks to a couple of colleagues and turns around to Nye and goes, right, I've been having a listen to the gossip, and I think I might have something that'll get you started off. You're looking to travel, are you not? Is he frozen? Yes, he has. Fuck. Okay, well, his internet does what his internet is doing. I guess we will look to you guys. We're gonna have to stall a little bit because I know where I want you guys to be meeting, and I can't have you move too far away from it. Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, he's probably gonna come back on the phone in a second, isn't he? God, I hope this doesn't continue all night. Hello?
Okay.
I don't know how much of that you got.
I 78 RPM record played at 33.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to think about how best to do this because if is this really gonna happen every few minutes?
No, that was
Okay.
actually a completely different technical problem because Skype does not like when it loses its network connection. It has troubles rejoining.
Right. Okay. I'm very briefly going to deal with these guys until you get back situated, and just because again we're running later than I would generally like. Thankfully, we do kind of have to stall today since we're missing a player, so it's not that big a deal.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you guys have come out of the. You guys have come out of Arcane Inc. Darwin with his quasi date and. Probably blushing a little bit.
A lot. A lot. Like it's obvious. Like it hasn't. It's not a full face, but it's his. I'm red in the face, both from blushing and also just from smiling so much.
It must be kind of gratifying for clarity, really.
No.
I'm glad that the romantic stuff is not involving me for once.
It's also it's not just Hazel that find tieflings like pretty.
Ah.
For clarity.
You're finding out Darwin's pretty much equal opportunity.
In any case, you've probably got Hazel having a kind of a hard time gauging the time because she's used to gauging it by sun, and while Remy is probably used to doing it through large buildings, Hazel's just like, "Where's the sun?" It's starting. It's pretty high up there, so it might be Andre meeting time. Maybe.
Market? Where's the market?
You're kind of in the market, but you're also probably kind of desperately lost. Poor thing.
Swiveling. I'm basically spinning like a top at this point in random directions.
Give me a perception check. And Remy's just gonna let her flail.
I'm just watching her spin, wondering how long she can keep it up before she falls over.
I mean,
And
as
those
long
are
as she's still
13.
moving in the right direction.
That's the thing. She's moving in circles.
Twirling,
We'll give her a
twirling,
lot, then.
twirling toward the future. Sorry.
Hazel has a feeling that it's probably that way somewhere. There seem to be people with like, on the to go food in that general direction, so maybe it's over there.
I am grabbing Clarity and Darvin and trying to tug them in that direction. Not forcefully, but trying.
She's going a little bit off in the wrong direction. Remy knows this.
Where are we going, Hazel?
What?
I love the way you did that.
Where are you going?
I need to find meeting place.
Isn't that where we're going?
I would like to be.
So, keep following me. Direction we're going in.
And she walks
Then
off.
start leading.
She walks off at a sort of a 45-degree angle to where you were originally going. So
I mean, that's less off than Hazel usually is.
Change.
okay.
Hey.
Meantime, now that you're probably fairly stable, as previously stated, you literally just about came off the boat. You've basically been taken under the wing of a halfling scout who apparently serves as the second in command for the mercenary group that found you. And basically going, just sit yourself right there for a second. I need to try and find something for you to do with yourself. I'm not just gonna leave you. It goes, talks to some friends for a few minutes after shoving a sandwich at you, and comes back and goes, I think I've got just the thing. Old friend of mine's in town. Seems to have got herself a bit of an adventuring band. After going paladin. I swear the woman's mad. But she got out of the combine, same as me, so she can't be that mad. Anyhow, they've got a job, quick little job, and that'll at least put some coin in your pocket while you figure out what you're going to do next.
These friends of yours,
No,
how mad? Friend
Friends.
and her friends.
Uh,
How mad are they?
Actually, the now paladin, she's pretty sensible, yeah. The other ones can't speak as to them. You're gonna have to ask her, but I figure no one Remy should keep them in line. You're gonna have to judge for yourself. Come on.
All
You
right.
hear sort of just a like on the breeze, just this heady sort of female chuckle and a whisper of a male voice that this could be interesting. And you know exactly who they are.
I try to look as dignified as possible while completely lost and holding a sandwich. And talking to a halfling at that.
So you guys meet up. Andre's easy to spot. Yeah, that just the bearing and the hair and the partially it's that people actually stop to look at her or at least slow down. So there's a sort of ebb in the flow of human traffic. It's waving. Hi.
I detach from party and beeline.
And so hugs Hazel. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. All right. Look, now I don't know what exactly all it is that you want to be eating. And looks at Darvin. Oh, I see you've been visiting Arcane Inc.
They did great, didn't they? It looks nice. I can't really see it, but I saw it in the mirror. It looked awesome.
It from what I can see of it, it does. How long? And is it a single use or?
Yeah, it's for now. Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of testing things out, and so yeah.
Right. Well, all the food stalls are through there. I don't know what kinds of things you like. I can point out a couple of, and right in the middle of that, just cutting over all the market noise. Oi up, Remy!
What?
This is a dry. She was the scout for the Combine. She's about half the reason the few of you that got out alive got out alive. She's wearing different colors now. So clearly no longer affiliated with the Combine. You kind of lost touch when you went through the whole paladin thing. Halfling, the very dark hair with gray streaks that match her eyes. Her pretty dark skin. He walks up to Remy. So you come back then?
Yeah, temporarily.
Yeah, heard you had yourself a little run-in with Carter there.
Apparently, a few people have heard that. Yes.
It's gossip. It doesn't help that you sent him to the Bravo's boast. You know how they feel about trouble in there.
Well, if he's looking for trouble, he's gonna find it. Just
You're
Why
gonna
not on a
get
tight
yourself
schedule?
thrown. You're gonna get yourself thrown out. Is what you're gonna do. You could have at least arranged to meet him somewhere where you're not gonna have to pay the damages.
I'm sure it won't get that out of hand.
You haven't seen Carter recently, have you? Anyhow, we got a couple of favors owed between us, yeah? I understand as how you're going on an expedition. Oh, hello, all. Didn't you have a dragonborn with you?
Oh, yeah, he's still in ink.
Oh, you must have deep pockets. This isn't going to be such a hard thing to ask after all. I hear as how you lot are going after sea hags on orders from the governor. Now, you know Governor Fortinbras pays fair, always pays per head, as well as a kick in to whatever group fund you got. We got this gentleman here, and gestures to the full elf standing behind her. We found him in the southern lands, just off the Adelphi Plains. Bit shell shocked, so he must have gone through something, but he survived it, so can't be all that bad. I just ask that you bring him along. He's got a bit of magic, got a bit with a blade and a bow, and so he's not unskilled, and he should be helpful to you. At the very least, it gives him a bit of coin in his pocket to figure out what he wants to do next. You all right for a little bit of backup?
Give him a look. You're vouching for him.
This is the point at which newcomer describes himself.
Let's see.
You wrote all this down, my dude.
Yes, I'm finding the tab on Roll20.
Mm.
So, slightly shorter than average height elf.
So
Average
probably
elf.
around about Darwin's height.
So
I
5'8".
think I'd written down 5'4" somewhere.
Oh, so a little shorter.
Yeah.
Darwin.
Wearing bits of leather armor that looked like they were scrounged out of a battlefield.
To be fair, they would have provided him with something a little better than that. He has been sailing with them for a couple of weeks. It's still scrappy and sparse, whatever they could put together that fit. So it's mismatched, but it's not
Okay,
half destroyed.
patchy, not patches missing. Gotcha. Light copper skin, white hair, odd. Cut very close on the right side, worn long and in one single braid on the left side. Left eye green, right eye half green, half hazel.
And clarity.
She's been looking at him a little funny when he's being pointed out.
The people that Adria is talking to is human, male, a little bit taller than you, sort of mussy, off blonde hair, a little bit lanky, a little bit flash, not too much. Wearing a viol across his back and a really snazzy rapier on one hip and a small drum on the other. Human female, at least 2 inches shorter than you. Shock of possibly, maybe brushed black hair. Slightly severe features, very pale skin. Very good plate armor. Half elf, you've seen a few of those. You know better than to have that reaction after the first time you had that reaction and someone slapped you upside the head. This one might be of wood elf stock, maybe? You're not entirely sure. All you know for sure is that there's a lot of really puffy brown hair sort of half tied back in this massive green bow. Leather armor, green sash around the waist, and a cloak that looks like somebody skinned a displacer beast. And a tiefling. Dark amber skin, blue hair, amber eyes, black leather, kind of fancy looking black leather boots. The bandolier belt with 3 daggers in it across her chest. The one that doesn't look remotely like an adventurer is she's clearly of high elf stock, this half elf. She's a good 2 inches taller than Darvin. The peaches and cream complexion, very pale blonde hair down to about the middle of her back. Simple but nice dress, and she wears it well. Very deep blue eyes, that sort of shade that looks nearly violet. And she's clearly got more of the high elf blood than has come anywhere near the scruffy, puffy-haired one. And Try is like, yeah, I'll vouch for him. Yeah, it's as I say, he survived on his own in the Sunlands.
I don't know
Gotta
about,
be worth something.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm all for it.
And you got Andrew puts a hand on Hazel's shoulder. Hazel, you just came out of Arcane Ink. One of the people who worked there was a full elf. You know better than this. They're not all your mother.
There's a story.
It's fine.
Strokes Hazel's hair a little bit. I'll let them do the introductions, and I'll just follow my own judgment as far as lunch for you all. You've come visiting, and lunch seems the least I can do. I'll just leave you to it, and just slides on out. And
I'll walk right up to him, hold out my hand, and be like, "Hey, how you doing, Darvin?"
Yes, there's something that... Hi, I'm Nyniar Vanimar. Call me Nye.
Clarity and Hazel speak Elvish. Please tell them what it means.
It roughly means one who yearns for his lost homeland. Or as the people on the boat called me, Mr. Homeless.
We did bloody not. Okay, one person did, but that's when I tied him to the masthead. So you could stop that. It was just the one. Anyhow, I'm gonna stop coddling you because, as I say, you look out for yourself. And turns around to Remy, gives her a little bop, a friendly bop on the shoulder with her fist. I'll be by the Bravo's boast in case you need some kind of backup, because you know Cutter's gonna bring what few friends he got. And honestly, maybe if somebody else is there, they won't wreck the place. I don't want to wreck the place. I drink there.
I don't want them to wreck the place either. Trust me.
I'm about to perform there.
No.
Wait,
You.
no, other one.
Well, you should have thought of that before you called him out there, shouldn't you? Darn.
I was in a
Beat.
bit of a rush and too
You
late
should have
now.
just let me hit him.
No, Hazel, no.
I'll
No.
let I'll let you all have this argument your own selves. I'll see you in the Bravos boast a little bit later on. Enjoy your day. At least in part B to be checking in on you, Nige. Make sure you're settling in because clearly there's a little bit of weirder than even I thought. Ah, Tal, and off she goes. And so yeah, you've got these four. The tiefling is still looking at you funny.
So I've said my introduction, so I turn back, look at everybody else because I walked up to him from everybody, and it's like, well,
I'm Hazel Hearthheart. How you doing?
Remy Crestwind.
Clarity. Have I met you before? You look familiar.
hmm?
What about me looks familiar?
Well, I mean, just about everything. The hair, the braid, the eyes.
The shape. Well, it wasn't in color. It was more the shape of the face. Probably like very faint scar from early childhood training incident. Nothing massive, but just a little.
Face, the scar. I mean, who has scars in the same places? Not very many people.
Where? When? Huh? What?
Same.
I could have sworn. Oh my gods! And she starts rummaging in her bag and picking up books and shoving them at Hazel, and then picking up more books.
What?
What? No, it's not that book. It's this book. And opening up like this really ragged notebook that has like odds and ends just sort of shoved in there, and it's tied with like a leather thing, and she starts untying it and flips through.
What is going on?
And so say all of us.
You get used to it.
You! This is you! And I unfold this.
That is actually you. It is a very old bit of parchment, fraying at the corners. And there were words, but that ink has faded long since. But the picture is you.
That's you, right? That's you. Looks like you, it's you. Do you need longer with it?
No, literally just stunned silence.
Yeah, and meanwhile I'm like still just going,
That's you, right?
Just like eyes go between parchment to face to parchment to face to, like hand goes out to take the parchment and then pulls back like, I want to see this, but oh wait, this is someone else's property.
No, you can look at it. It's you.
Where did you get this? Where did this? What? Huh?
So, well, I mean, do you want to talk about it over lunch or something? This might take a little bit. I mean, we just met and all that.
Sounds like a plan.
Food would be good, yes!
As if in answer to that, you've got Andre, who comes by with these armload of basically meat and veggies and a sort of garlicky scented sauce wrapped in flatbread.
ooh.
I think I can find us a bench and looks at all of you. I think I'm just gonna find you guys a bench and then I'm gonna go away for an hour. You have that look, and I'm sorry, I've got my own. I don't want to get involved. It looks at Nye. I got you one.
Thank you. I thank you. Really, I'm just quite surprised right now.
Yeah, I've gathered that, and it's not just dealing with Hazel. I'm Andromeda Hearthheart, by the way. We're not blood related, but we were fostered by the same halfling family. So she's my sister, basically. Can somebody take one of these?
I quickly
Never
grab
takes
one.
Right.
I've still got all this stuff that
Yeah.
I'm carrying.
Oh, sorry.
Here,
I'll take
Clarity.
that.
Here, I'll hold yours. Okay.
Okay. You take that stuff, and I'll take this stuff, and
And
stick
I'll
it
head
right
back.
there.
They
And-
spend a couple of minutes rearranging themselves, and in the back of Nye's head, there's just very quiet laughter and the sort of oh yes, oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Eventually,
Food.
they get sorted out. Andrew points over to a bench that Flitty is guarding. Now, Nye hasn't seen a fairy dragon in a very long time. Certainly never seen one in a color. He was used to them being free range.
Pink leather or black spiky?
Gold. With a sun symbol. I mean, Nye knows most of the gods. A little fuzzy on the one that Remy is apparently affiliated with, but he knows Paylor well enough.
Ugh.
So
of light.
yeah, what he finds at this table, like guarding it, is this blue fairy dragon in a gold collar with the symbol of Paylor on it. I'll leave you guys for like an hour. I'll check in on you discreetly. Like I say, I'm really sorry. Just this looks like a thing. I don't want to get in the way of the thing. I've got other stuff, and yeah, Flitty is guarding your picture of its it's sort of a light wine based drink. You like it? I'll go find something else to do.
I
Yeah.
walk,
Later,
and I,
Andre. Come back soon.
yep, I walk over. Hi, Flitty. Thank you. And I sit down, give Flitty a scritch, and I motion everybody. Come on, guys, sit down. Sit.
Does what languages does Nye speak? Remind me.
Common and Elvish. The background gives him another one, but I can't really think of a background compliant reason to have another one.
Yes, you can. Sylvan. Any Fae related creature. I kind of assumed that you'd picked Sylvan just because of a wood elf background.
Okay, I'll go with that.
We will say Sylvan. So first from the little fairy dragon, you get sort of hiss clicking noises, and then in Sylvan, or this one. Is this a language that you speak?
I speak, yes. Hello.
Hi, I'm Flitty.
Hello, Sylvan person.
Ah.
They're my pets. I keep an eye on them.
And I'm just
I'm
grinning. Actually, is the home of comprehend languages? Is that noticeable?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured it would be. But yeah, so I'm just grinning because I can understand all this, but I'm just at the being called pets. I'm like, yep.
I saved their lives once.
Actually, multiple times, I think.
I saved your life more than once, but mostly it was the giggle breath on the oozy thing.
Ah.
That thing was staring at a wall for the whole time. This is still in Sylvan, by the way.
The group of you seem to have led a very interesting life so far.
It's only been about
One way to
2
put it.
months. And Flitty goes and basically starts nosing around people's flatbreads for anything they drop, because these are messy to eat.
I'm just full on offering Flitty mine briefly.
No. Anyway, we
Good.
have things to discuss.
Big old chunk of something just Flitty got a hold of.
So, yeah, that thing. Well, it's kind of a long story, but a long while ago, before I met these fine people, I used to sneak into people's houses and libraries and look for books, and I would read those books. And I found that book. Well, the book that was in. It was a book about mysterious disappearances which was very interesting to me because my brother disappeared some years ago. And there was a lot of stuff that wasn't relevant to me, interesting, fascinating, but not relevant. But yours was. And unfortunately, I got found out at about the same time I found that entry in the book. So I just snatched that picture and ran out of there. Elves live a long time. I figured maybe I could look you up, but or figure something out. But
or the cousin, more to the point, because you didn't know if he'd be back.
Or your cousin, was it, that disappeared?
No, he was the one who disappeared. The cousin was the one telling the anecdote who was looking for him.
Oh, I misunderstood. And
That's cool.
I was trying to find your cousin, and this said you disappeared, and then you're obviously here and not disappeared anymore. And from what I read, the circumstances were very similar to what happened to my brother. There was lots of wind and it's just happened very suddenly, and he was just gone. And I was wondering if you could help me out, fill out maybe some of the gaps. And, I know this is a lot. We just met and we're eating lunch and this is good, but yes.
I'll help you any way I can. I just want to know what else did it say about me? Did it say where I disappeared from, or when? How long ago?
No.
If it did, you didn't have the time.
I didn't. I mean, I was, like I said, someone burst in on me. I had to run, but so unfortunately, the details were not made clear to me, and
But they're out there somewhere. That's good to know. Thank you.
Probably.
Yeah, and you have a cousin apparently.
My cousin taught me how to shoot the bow, how to survive in the forest. We used to climb trees and dare each other to go higher and higher. Of course, her mother stood on the ground below, saying, "I can't catch both of you, so only one of you fall at a time."
That sounds delightful.
I wish I could help you more. I don't really know what happened to me. I really barely remember anything. I remember flashes from being young, things like that, or when I was teaching my younger brother how to sword fight. But what I mostly remember is, excuse me one moment, I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on myself.
See, there is a use for it.
I remember.
Ooh.
Huh.
That's gonna hit all of us. Can you willfully change the range of a spell to affect only yourself?
Um.
This is interesting.
Well, I figure the person I'm talking to might also need her emotions calmed when she hears this.
Yeah,
Which is
but in
part
which
of why
case, maybe you should be asking permission.
honestly didn't think of that at the point where it's just like, I need to
Alright,
hit myself with this.
Everybody make
Yep.
a charisma saving throw.
Choose to fail.
13.
What's your spell DC for this?
24.
Nat 20.
Remy and Hazel have resisted, and they're probably ever so slightly pissed.
12.
Okay, so yeah, Lindira is also. I'm sorry. What are you trying to do to my head?
Yeah. Hang on a second. Wait. What was that?
Sorry, I have
18,
this.
by the way.
I can calm my emotions. I didn't know it would hit other people. I'm sorry.
Oi!
Oh, hey, look. Considering
All
look,
right.
considering some of the things I've hit y'all with, that's tame by comparison.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
When I
That's
said I'm gonna calm
fair.
emotions, that was in character.
Well, it
That's
led
All right.
to interesting. So, keep in mind. In which case, yeah, once it's laid, it's played. If you want something to be, if you want something that you need to specify, basically.
Yep.
If you actually give a spell name, the assumption's gonna be.
casting it as the book.
That is what I
Okay.
what I intended, but I was also saying it out loud in character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good to clarify. Is all. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Anyway,
I remember
that's fair. Continue.
a long time in silent darkness. Nothing else. I could see nothing. I could hear nothing. I couldn't move. I tried to count my breaths and I lost count. I tried to count trances and I lost count. I thought of tearing the skin on my arms open with my teeth and tracking how long it took me to heal, just for some sense of time, just for some sense of anything. I don't know how long I was there. From the age of this piece of paper, it must have been a long time. I don't know whether something heard me or something came by anyway, but what I saw was what looked like a human child, maybe about, I don't know, 8 or 9, about when the children become adults for humans, but I could tell this was no human child, even though he looked like one. There was power in those movements and mischief in those eyes, and he said to me, if I swore loyalty to his king and queen, they'd let me go, and they'd give me power. I didn't really. I mean, would any of you have wasted the opportunity to get out of that?
Nope. Nope.
That is fair enough.
So I wish I could help you more. I don't know how I got there. I don't know what happened to me, but that's what I remember.
There wasn't anyone else that you saw there?
Nothing. Just a black void. Just almost not even black. Just nothing.
Hmm.
Right. Well, thank you. That's more information than I've ever gotten before.
No, thank you. At least when I woke up or was let go, I was, for all I knew, I was in another world, or it had been eons. At least some record of me is out there. Something remembers me, so maybe I can go home someday.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. I mean, as speaking as someone who is looking for someone who is missing, knowing what happened would be phenomenal.
The fairy dragon actually gets up on Nice's shoulder and sort of curls around his neck in a sort of a comforting sort of way. If you need a family in the meantime, we have one. And Sylvan.
I chuckle. And obviously this is all in common. We have a habit of adopting people. So
And I am hugging Clarity.
and I mean, let's put it this way: if this all works out and you choose to stick around, you won't be homeless. You will have a home. I do now. I mean, I had one. Long story. Anyway, yeah, you'd have a home.
Everyone should have one, and I'm grateful for that.
Right. Well, food's getting cold.
In the back of Nye's head, those two voices in unison. Yes. And they finally fall silent and leave him alone for the moment.
So yeah, I just start tearing into it.
It is a good sandwich. It is not. It sort of tastes a little bit like something that you might have had at Twilly and Miranda's. The notes are about the same, but obviously different. Different merchant, different cook, kind of thing. And for Remy, this is. Oh yeah, I know this stall. So are you guys going to tell the poor man what he's in for?
Let me give this back to you before I get food on it.
One thing at a time.
Oh, thank you. And I fold it up carefully and stick it in my notebook.
I am still attached to Clarity.
Give me use of my arms at least.
As far as well, in the immediate, we do have an errand that we are running for to take care of a nest of sea hags. We are planning on heading out tomorrow morning to deal with that. We have much bigger concerns, however. I just, wow.
We should just say it at this point, really.
I after having put it all into song form, it's now a little difficult for me to just talk it out.
Can I try?
Oh God.
Let's let him.
You got Flitty going, she's not gonna be getting any better if she doesn't try.
Oh, that's a good point, Flitty. Remy, Flitty just pointed out Hazel's not going to get it better unless we give her a shot, and this is a pretty tame circumstance to let her give her a shot. So, it's a fair point.
Flitty looks at Nye. This is why I keep an eye on them.
Yeah, well, thanks to Flitty, I'm not completely made of stupid.
Anymore.
I said, well, okay, that was implied. Yes. Most of y'all are only getting half of this conversation. So go ahead, Hazel.
Place where we're from, Baronsphere, is run by a black dragon, and he's taxing the bejesus out of places to get his bits on magical things that each part of the country has, and if he gets those, black stuff comes out. It's basically evil, blasphemous oil, honey stuff, and we don't want that happening because that helps Tiamat.
Oh boy.
As well as doing enough damage in and of itself.
That was so simplified. That was like that was oh boy. I mean,
Literally raising a hand.
I know cliff notes are not a thing, but oh my God, that's the cliffest of cliff notes I've ever heard. Yes.
What's a sea hag? I only know things that live in the forest. In my forest, back home.
Oh, fair. Clarity. You
Right. So they're terrible creatures. They can breathe air and water. And they're literally terrifying because they can make you scared. And they've got claws. And they can make you unconscious with just a look, which you should probably try to avoid. They do illusions, and they're generally ugly creatures that don't like beautiful things. So I don't know if that would make them distracted but it'll make them go into rages, or so I've read.
So they're really not going to like Clarity. Wink.
Oh, well,
I wink.
Thank you, Darwin.
And
Prettiest.
why are you going after these terrible, dangerous, ugly sea hag things?
Because
the governor asked us to.
Yep. And we're doing.
And he's helping us get, and if we do that, he'll help us get a thing that'll let us squash the Black Dragon King asshole.
Okay, let me rewind a fair bit. Basically, we've come across, there's something, this stuff. Hazel's description of it was not far off, and it is bubbling up into this into our reality. And it started in Star Coast and with the Baron there. I didn't know it at the time. I was just hired by this Baron to play music at a thing, and I bard magic happened. I didn't know I was a bard up until then, and people freaked out. They kicked me out. Anyway, long story short, in the process of going back to get me paid, we found out that this stuff that the Baron was messing with it, and there was a lady there that was somehow involved, and the Baron was trying to do some ritual or something, and the Baron got caught up in everything, and I don't know whether or not the Baron was willing or if he was manipulated or what, but either way, he's dead, and this stuff was infected the barony, that particular barony, and this dense fog rolled out after the ritual was sort of completed, and a lot of people were subsumed by it and turned into these creatures. They were also using this stuff to turn people into things themselves. So that's it, yeah. Long story short,
He's raising his hand again.
Things like sea hags or things like chairs?
No,
Things
like
like
monsters.
sea hags and worse.
Yeah, things like zombie-esque.
And the one that was literally made of blasphemy.
Well, yeah, the big giant thing that came
Actually, I
crashing
think
through
she was talking about the shade.
Oh, yes. Yeah. There were various creatures. We can get into the more detail later, but we were able to flee. We geared up, went back because we had to deal with it. We dealt with it. Unfortunately, by the time that we dealt with it, the heart of this barony had been infected so much that when we tried to take it, still in the barony, but to an area that was free from this taint, the heart unfortunately gave out, and the barony quite literally died. We've come to find out that Tiamat is trying to use the infection to somehow gain power. The mechanism of such is the king of Baronsphere, for at least one or possibly two generations now, is actually a black dragon, and he's taxing the baronies.
Jesus?
Yeah.
Oh.
Somehow he's taxing the baronies and basically trying to get his hands on the hearts, because if he can get his hands on the hearts, he can then spread the infection to the baronies as a whole, somehow increasing Tiamat's power. The existence of this sludge is affected all of our backgrounds in some fashion. It's cost me my family, my first family. It cost Froseth, who you've not yet met, it cost him his family. It nearly cost Remy their life. And I can't remember, Remy. Did anybody else make it out of that incident?
A dry
my
who you just met did get out. Carter got out. A couple other
A few
people,
of
but
us.
most of the squad was lost.
Yeah. So yeah, it cost Remy, mates, and so yeah. And the overall goal is to stop Tiamat.
And this Tiamat you keep mentioning, is it some sort of powerful king or lord or?
Tiamat is the
Goddess
god
of dragons.
No, goddess of chromatic dragons.
Yeah, versus the
Chromatic
god
dragons?
of dragons was Bahamut.
Red, green.
To be fair, you probably know enough to know the difference between chromatic and metallic dragons. As green dragons are often found in forests. So yeah, you'll know the difference between chromatics, which are just colors, and metallics, which are just metals, and you'll know that the metallics are usually, good for their definition of it. I mean, yeah, okay, you've heard the occasional story about a copper dragon who wanted to have a conversation with an adventurer in a hurry. The adventurer tried to end the conversation before the copper deemed it polite,
Uh-oh.
and so the copper dragon put the adventurer to sleep, and the adventurer woke up, buried up to his neck, with the copper dragon just going, okay, now we can have a conversation. Let him go after they had a conversation for a few hours. Was still up to his neck, buried.
So,
But yeah, he'll know the difference between chromatics and metallics.
yeah, Tiamat is the goddess of all chromatic dragons. Bahamut being metallic. And so, in the efforts to find out more about the whole thing, and get what assistance we can, we came here, and we've seen the governor, and the governor has agreed to assist us on the condition we help him with sea hags. So there's more stuff, there's more details, there's more things along the long, but that's the short story.
So tomorrow morning, you're heading out in a boat to fight
No,
some sea hags?
Coastline. And
Yeah.
a few miles
They're
up.
on some cliffs, so they're
So going along the shore to fight some sea hags.
Yes,
basically.
should be fun. Ish.
Have you fought sea hags before?
No.
You fought worse than sea hags, though.
But we
To be
fought
fair,
a-
when Clarity remembered the definition of sea hags, she basically thought, remember that tentacle bitch from Star Coast? Basically, the tentacle bitch was like sea hag, but worse. So, kinda.
I mean,
We should be okay. We did fight some tough things before, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we'll be fine.
we fought a thing that looked like it would have fit the phrasing sea hag, except it was made out of the black crap.
and yeah, we fought things that spewed acid at us, then had tentacles. We fought things that had big, huge honking blade things on their arms made out of barnacles. We fought this thing that literally looked like it was made of black, blasphemous, nasty. We fought this giant thing with tentacles on its face that somehow freaking flew. Made freaking dimensional portally things of frozen death, and just
Yeah, that ball of doom was following us around that whole time.
right.
The very quiet laughter is back for Nye, by the way.
We fought.
I was just thinking that I'm feeling both more and less comforted at the same time.
We fought.
And that was in character.
I mean, to be fair, we have fought a number of things, and we have come through to the other side. Well, we have.
Mostly come through.
One of our party did not. But that's the other reason why we're on this task is the person that did it was the woman that we saw at Star Coast, and
That
everything
was Tiamat, if I remember right.
Mhm. And so Remy, you'll understand this feeling. I owe that bitch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Seconded.
And it was Nora Nora Bailey, Paladin of Paylor. And at this point, I've got the end of the veal kind of out so you can see, and I point to the symbol of Paylor now dangling from the end of the veal. When I do when I do make her pay, Nora will be there with us.
Sorry, the end of the what?
Viol. It's kind of violinish.
Oh.
He's a bard. It's one of his instruments. You also get Flitty going. Also, they don't want home to get squished.
You'll yeah, I think proto violin. Yeah, it's what the violin evolved from.
Home and family. Well, you've got my help, as much of it as I can give.
Well, then you're going to be part of the family at this rate.
Someone else who
Good.
can understand me.
Yep, and with that you will have you will have lots of friends.
Oh man, if we take him to Lyra's, that the whole horde will descend on him saying hello.
Like Healy lady, Hazel lady has brothers and sisters that got adopted. I've got that too.
What size of horde are we talking about?
Well, it's only 10 now because Sunshine is with Healy lady's mamas and other siblings, and I'm with them because they need looking after. But
We do.
Sounds like it.
oh no, sorry, 11. She has a rope dragon now. She might have more.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the rope dragon.
You see, sometimes the nobles here are very nice to us. They keep us as pets, and then they kind of forget about us when we're not interesting anymore. So, mommy lady, Lyra lady, she rescues us.
Lyra is the cleric of Paylor for Goldendale, which is where we hail from. That's where home is.
Taught me a lot.
And yeah, basically, all of us have lost families in some form or another. Remy accepted, but
Close enough, to be fair. Merc companies tend to be tight.
true. I mean, do you want to flag that up, Remy?
No,
Eh,
but it's something that would probably occur to Darvin. He's heard stories.
point. Well, yeah, I mean, all of us have lost families, chosen or not, in some form or fashion, out of all of this, and
And you're all forgetting Melinda on Hazel's side.
mhm. Though that's in the details, and I hadn't brought that up yet, and probably won't right now. But we've all found family now, and we're going to do everything we can to protect it. And if that means going up against Tiamat, then we're going up against Tiamat.
Yep. So yeah, this is part of this whole escapade out to deal with sea hacks is just part of the list, which is going. The list ends. At least part one of the list ends when we eject King Dragon Asshole out of Baronsphere.
If that winds up being the course of action we take, yeah.
I was going to say,
Corpse.
mind if you tell me how you've been planning to do that?
We hadn't really thought that far.
One
Right
day
now,
at a time.
Yeah, right now it's just getting the means to deal with him in some form or fashion. Right now we have literally none. That is why we're here. We're here because the governor is going to assist us in obtaining a weapon such that if we want to just throw down, we can. We may go a different route, but this is at least going to be an option. And that's basically what we're just trying to do at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Flitty very quietly in Sylvan. I mean, Darvin can hear, but he's obviously trying to be discreet. Hence, going. The governor wants the Black Dragon King and the people that work for the Black Dragon King and the dragon goddess that the Black Dragon works for to be not anymore because the Governor Man is a metallic dragon. He's bronze. He's big.
Yeah.
Whole place run by big dragons, but it's kind of a secret.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it. But yes. Yeah,
Yes, that's why I'm right by his ear.
Okay.
Am I
didn't
getting
want
any
him-
of this?
Nope.
I didn't want him to be surprised like the Healy lady when she fell on her butt.
Ooh, good point. Thank you. Yeah, that was.
Also, and this a little louder so Hazel can hear now. Also, the elfie man, he can probably have the wizard man's bed in your room.
Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah. We had someone with us came from the university here in Belarus and decided to stay. So decided he needed apparently more studies before trying to step out and deal with the type of thing that we're finding ourselves faced with, which I can kind of get, but it's neither here nor there.
But it just means that elfie man has a roof.
Yep.
And a bed.
Yep. Yeah.
And sometimes yak.
So when you happen to need someone to help you, I happen to show up. I'm hearing that laughter again.
You're hearing what now? Well, I mean, that was Hazel.
So, remember the guy told me to swear loyalty to his king and queen? I did.
Well,
And
obviously,
I
because
hear-
you're here.
I think I hear them laughing occasionally.
Are
I
they
think
anything like Paylor?
No, I wouldn't
No.
think so.
I mean,
They're talking to you in your head.
I mean, we've
They're-
heard that. We've heard Paylor, or I've heard Paylor.
They're giggling mostly.
Okay, that's weird, but okay. I mean,
And Flitty goes, oh, I get it.
Wait, what?
Whoomp.
Listen, Sylvan.
Hey, this is just scrunches on your shoulder, hiding sort of behind your braid. And peeks out.
Wait, what do you do you mean you get it?
You know that I'm a fairy dragon.
Uh-huh.
And I know the dragon is the important part, but the fairy part's important too. And it means that I am kind of a fae thing. There's lots of fae things. And some of them are real small and not so
Like
powerful.
you enjoy?
Yeah. And then there's bigger ones, more powerful ones. They call them archfey.
now is this in common or is this in Sylvan from Flitty?
Flitty can only speak Sylvan and Draconic.
Oh,
Mouth
right,
doesn't work that way.
right.
And how much of this am I overhearing? Or am I just seeing that?
Sitting on your shoulder.
Yeah,
Oh, my shoulder.
yeah,
Your shoulder.
Okay.
the whole time.
Okay. Okay.
Arch. So, wait. That
Here.
means
King and Queen.
the voices are
I'm getting bits and pieces of this conversation. Anyone mind
Oh.
explaining?
Yes,
Help.
clarity.
He's a warlock.
I still don't understand you, Flitty. I'm sorry.
He's a Flitty. Hold it. He's a warlock. Am I right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh.
and he's attached to
Okay.
Archfey.
They're not bad.
They're not
They're
bad.
not really good either.
Yeah, not
it's
necessarily
fey.
anything.
It's
They
Faye.
like to
They're-
be entertained.
It's Faye.
Actually looks up to the sky and is sort of going, "Are you not entertained?" And now the giggling has turned into full-on balls-out laughter.
It's worth it to get home. It's worth it to get home. Yeah,
Are
there's
you
that
okay?
laughter. I knew it sounded familiar.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. But yeah, so we have, well, welcome to the party, Mr. Homeless. That is
And
that is
our group just got more
He
interesting.
takes off from Nye's shoulder, lands on Darvin's, and nips him on the ear.
Aye, that's the last. No,
That's
there
the
was.
game.
I wasn't finished. And that is the last time that anyone will ever call you that, because now you do have a home.
Mom lady and mama lady, we're building that extra room.
Yep, we'll just have to redecorate. We all have rooms at Hearth Home, and at the time, Sigwald is the name of the person that was with us before. We were adding a room for him, but
I felt really bad because it was going to be a waste if he was coming back.
well, now it won't be.
Look, it was made for him instead.
So
It's up at it's going to be up at the top, so you can see the stars.
At least those have
All glory to Hearth Home and all glory to that scarecrow.
it's a long story.
Scarecrow?
You keep forgetting there are multiple scarecrows.
Multiple scarecrows?
That was out of character. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Hazel's talking about the one scarecrow she's worried about.
Yes. Oh no, she's worried about all three
Mm.
because
They move.
the border can shrink from any direction.
The scarecrows, quote unquote, move. Basically,
Not on their own.
right.
I thought I'd clarify.
Unless Twilly gets really creative with Mage Hand.
Basically, it's a result of the taxation that the king of Baronsvere has been subjecting all the barons to. It's so severe in Goldendale that there have been occasions where Mom and Mama have had to sell small parcels of land on the farm, and as a result, the scarecrows marking the edges of the farm have obviously had to be brought farther in. So, hence the paying attention to the quote-unquote moving scarecrows. And
Back out.
Darvin's face kind of twitched a little bit when he said Mom and Mama, because he's still not used to that.
To be fair, he actually called them that about 3 weeks ago. I was watching the old.
Oh, I did. Okay, I couldn't recall.
I think that was the first time you realized you were doing it.
Right.
We'll call it that.
Okay. Well, then never mind.
It seems like a lot to dump on you after we've only met you maybe like 5 minutes before this conversation started. What's your favorite color?
I told you she's adorable.
I love clarity is amazing.
Okay, out of character hands. Isn't that the way introducing a new person to the game always goes?
Sort of ish. You didn't see how these two came in. Sorry, it's Remy and Sigwald when he came in. You didn't see how those two turned up. This is actually fairly tame by comparison.
1 second, having my hair down is actually starting to hurt more than having it up.
Well, we've actually just about come to the midway point, so we will let you tidy up, do the 5-minute break, and when we come back, we can find out what Nye's favorite color is and finish the rest of the shopping. Hey, look, it's a better cliffhanger than the Erddrag slamming through the wall. And we're back. Most of us with plates of food. The most of the party have just met Nye, an elven warlock who has probably, in Hazel's eyes, gone from "who's this knife-eared asshole" to "mine." And they are now finishing lunch with Flitty sort of hoovering up anything that happens to come their way and turning up to whoever has the bag of cookies in their bag of holding and going, "Cookies?" Probably Hazel, to
Yeah, I
be
think
fair.
so.
Yep. Cookies.
Into the bag.
Well,
Looks over at Remy and then to Darvin. "Could you please tell her that her mommy and daddy make very good cookies?"
Remy,
go ahead.
your parents make great cookies. So says
Yes,
the-
yes, they do.
So yes, Nye, what is your favorite color?
Leaf green.
Ooh, specific.
Not really.
Somehow I am not
different-
surprised.
There's a lot of different greens a leaf can be.
I mean, there's a lot of different leaves.
Basically, the
That's
color
true.
of sunlight, twilight, really filtered through the leaves.
Ooh. You know what?
Huh.
No.
I
Actually,
wonder just how much you walk in the sun.
forgive me for casting more magic at the lunch table. Silent image. This green.
Ooh. I like this one. I didn't know you could do that.
Flitty peers at the bag. "One of my sisters is that green. I'm gonna be that color green one day." Boom, back in the bag.
Sounds of chomping.
Yeah, no.
So where to next?
Well, I know there was talk of sugar and spice at one point, but I know that I think we're wanting to go to Sweetwater and Sisters as well.
We want to see Lyra's folks. Yeah.
Okay. We can put off sugar and spice, since that was really just, get things to bring home. So we could do that pretty well anytime. Do we?
Plus it's close to Remy's parents, so you could always stop by on the way to dinner.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm actually looking at the map. So yeah, shall we check out Sweetwater for now?
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Were we going to pick up Andromeda? Or...
Andrew's sort of ambling back, very, very.
Oh, wait.
Gesturing.
So you've all had whatever conversations needed to be had?
Yep.
Yes.
Did introductions and etc. and so forth, and the whatevers and wifors and wherefores. Yes.
You get used to them, she says to Nye, I promise.
I've said that exact same thing.
And Hazel is actually a lot better than she was when she was very small.
We've gotten her to stop waving the hammer around indoors,
I still don't believe she has a hammer.
or at least around.
And a
properly.
crossbow.
I'm deliberately blocking out the crossbow. Deliberately
I'm better
blocking
with
out
that than I am with the hammer.
Which should really lead me to ask, how do y'all operate in a fight, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it?
I came back too soon.
Well, we can walk and talk, can't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're talking.
I'm not an adventurer.
Well, we're still figuring some things out. Yes.
But they're.
Go ahead, Hazel.
No, you were saying.
No. Go.
Figuring out what we do when we smack things is probably less of a thing than the other stuff we were talking about. So
Oh, fair. Um, yeah, I mean we're still kind of working out tactics amongst each other. My main stumbling block personally has been I'm still kind of new to all this. And apparently so are you, as evidenced by the what was that? Calm emotions you said? Um,
They gave me powers that I kind of got my head around, but on the boat I used to take myself off by myself and calm myself down.
uh, probably finding just enough space. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no. Let's just say I've gotten a bit better about certain things like Thunderwave.
yeah, and the one thing I've noticed is that every time something weird happens, it always happens to Darwin. The bunny thing, the getting turned to stone thing.
Yeah.
I don't think this is explaining anything to him whatsoever.
Yeah, but every time just every time something weird is going to happen, it's going to happen to him. So you're safe.
Okay, to be fair, the bunny thing was your fault.
I'm safe in direct proportion to my distance from him, it sounds like.
Hazel, the bunny thing was your fault.
Yeah, that's true. It was entirely my fault.
I got turned into a bunny and then thrown into a tree.
That part was not my fault. The tree.
Yes, it was. That was the confusion spell that the pixies
against the tree.
against the tree.
But the confusion spell was Clarity's fault for pushing the mage hand knocking on the door.
Oh.
I was trying to be polite.
And in all fairness to Darwin and Hazel, the weird stuff, consider that Clarity was the one that nearly got killed by a rug.
And a book.
And a book.
So, yeah, it's not just me. It's just in recent memory. There was there was the carnivorous rug and the book O Evil, which apparently if you want to get Clary's attention, you put something in the form of a book.
This wasn't the same book my picture was in, was it?
No.
No, that was a much longer time ago.
And this book was much eviler. It's destroyed. And Clarity is none the worse for wear. And Clarity and...
Currently.
Clarity and... Out of character, it was Clarity and Froseth that I launched?
No, it was Hazel.
Oh, it's Hazel and Clarity, that's right.
With Froseth, it was Clarity throwing a dagger right between his shoulder blades.
That's right. So, yeah, and, you know...
That was next.
So was Thunderwave.
Yeah. Thunderwave has a much bigger boom than you think. Unfortunately, Clarity and Hazel found that out the hard way. And to a lesser degree, so did Remy. To be fair, though, I apologized first to Remy before I did it. And at least that time, at least if I had to hit somebody, I hit the one that was wearing armor.
Incidentally, does Remy want to take a minute to change out of her armor? Because currently she's clanking through the market square behind these guys.
Given that we've already run into Carter once, you might not want to.
Yeah, after that previous conversation with the Adri show, she's good leaving it on.
So, anyway, my favorite color is I generally go with a whole lot of browns. If I'm on stage needing something a bit more ostentatious, I'll go with purples. Since we're sharing favorite colors.
Pointing at the bow.
Not too dissimilar a green to the one you were showing, just a bit brighter.
Clarity?
But, he's a bard. She's a cleric. Paladin. Sneaky person.
Sneaky. Black slug.
And
Clark.
Blue.
While you're talking, okay, dex save from both Hazel and Clarity. Thank you.
Dex safe to do what?
Avoid falling the fuck
17
over.
on me.
17 and
17
17.
also.
You manage not to tangle your feet in each other's, probably because Clarity's used to this bullshit by now. At which point, Andrea is like, don't make me do the bear again.
Okay. Immediately let go.
Yeah,
Andrea sort of smiles over at Nye Druid.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that was rather awesome.
Do the bear.
Yeah, it was really cool.
She was going to tackle hug me.
So she
Like
tackled
she
her
has
back.
done. She has done so many times in our shared family life. I decided that a little bit of revenge for being knocked over was in order, so I beast shaped into a bear, just as she was about to wrap her arms around me.
It was brilliant.
I've heard of a bear hug, but that's ridiculous.
No, it was wonderful. It was.
As far as I can tell, you're going to fit in with this lot marvelously.
Andrew became fluffy. It was kind of awesome, if a bit squishy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was furry. You are fluffy. Fluffs out Hazel's hair.
True.
Out of character hands there. What's up?
Out of character hands. Somebody at my work, in my work chat, linked Bear Simulator on Steam the other week. There then followed 2 hours of bear puns.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not.
Not even.
Anyway.
We do have things that this lot want to do.
Yep.
Which includes, by the time you get there, Sweetwater and Sisters. Nice little shop front. Unfortunately, just as you arrive, there is this noise from within, and that noise is boom!
Whoa!
That doesn't sound good.
At which point you hear, I think I know what I did wrong!
Oh. Okay, well, I'm
What
not hearing.
sort of a shop is this?
I'm not hearing panic screams, so I think we're good.
Windows open, and this kind of sparkly yellow smoke starts drifting out.
Now that is not my favorite color.
Oh boy,
Hello?
that's a smell. You okay in there?
The halfling gentleman sticks his head out and yeah, but you're not from around here. No, this happens. Allie! You're scaring away customers again! I think I know what I did wrong! From one of the upper windows.
What was that?
That was Magitech. Most of the smoke is up if you're coming in for shopping. Welcome to Sweetwater and Sisters. I'm Edvar Sweetwater. Looks at Hazel. You look familiar.
I was
and
trained
Andrew's
by
just-
Lyra.
Oh.
This is Hazel. Hazel Hearthheart.
And he's looking.
Ew.
You don't touch anything.
Yep.
Yep.
Come on in. Mind your feet. And he walks back inside.
Follow him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will follow.
There
him.
are. It looks like tea trays on little legs, scuttling along the floor.
Oh wow. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh. Stuff has gotten up and walked around.
One of them just sort of runs into Hazel's shin and keeps bunk, 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 bunk.
Wow, it's almost as single-minded as you.
Pardon. There's a.
They
Didn't
don't
you
have
say
a-
the weird stuff always happened to that one?
They don't have very much sense of direction. That's why we don't put anything on them. One of them is trying to climb Remy.
Jeremy, you just gently Push.
It's actually clinging to bits of armor. It's fairly determined.
Oh God.
I'm stepping away from mine.
Can I?
And it keeps walking along its regular course and bunk into the wall and just
Trying
keeps
to
bunk, bunk,
get
bunk,
purchase
bunk,
on the other side somehow of the to detach it. Help, Remy, trying somehow.
It takes a minute, and it actually rips one of the legs off.
Oh
But,
jeez. Oh God.
thank you, says Edvar.
Can I stand on one of these?
Yes.
You're welcome. I broke it.
Naya steps on one of them. It gets 2 steps and then flunk. The legs just flatten out. They twitch.
I figured out how to stop them.
And Edvar is just, thank you.
Okay,
I'm so
that was
tired of
okay.
these things.
I'm gonna take the one I'm holding because it's as the legs are still the legs that are left are still kind of, and I'm gonna flip it upside down and set it down.
Make me a dex save.
Okay.
Oh no.
Honestly, I figured you were gonna say that, given how twitchy and complicated these things probably are.
I thought you were going to do that to me.
Well,
Nah, they don't move very, very fast, but it sort of spring, and you manage to duck out of the way
Oh, jeez.
as it apparently aims for your face. Wham! Against the wall, falls down, and lands on its back. So you just see it twitches for a minute, and then more boing, and it's now bouncing on the flat bit. And Edvar's just,
wow.
welcome to my shop.
I'm sorry. I think it might have been better off if I had put it back in the legs. I apologize. I thought it would. I didn't know it could do that. Sorry.
I didn't know it could do that. Allie! What did you do? Tea trays! No, Allie, can you shut them off? No, I love them!
Well, at least I'm.
It picks up the tea tray and literally just breaks the rest of the legs off.
Well, at
And
least.
that last one is still bunk, bunk, bunk against the wall.
Well,
How
now
many
that
of these things were there? Are there?
3.
Were there?
3 as far as you can tell.
and one's flat, and the other one's got no legs, and the last one's determined to get through the wall. Apparently, it wants to be one with the wall.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, I was curious to see the shop.
The shop is mostly apothecary. There's a shelf behind the main counter that seems to contain some various bits and pieces. There's a dagger. It looks interesting, but not. A pair of shoes that don't look entirely like they were designed for a human feet as you know them. Might be more along the lines of something that would fit a dragonborn. There's a cloak sort of hanging up. It's bright red. Clearly not a stealth thing.
That is also not my favorite color.
But mostly it's potions. There's a whole rack of soaps of different different colors and probably scents. But
Well, pointing to Hazel, Hazel here wanted to stop by due to her connection with Lyra, out of curiosity. Given that you're, I guess, apothecary of sorts.
yeah, mostly.
Okay.
I mean, you've got various bits that Ari and May bring in,
Mhm.
but mostly it's potions,
Mhm.
soaps, perfumes.
Right. Well, uh, shot in the dark, but would you have anything that would be useful going up against? Are you familiar with the creatures night hags at all? Or sea hags, excuse me?
A bit, yeah.
Well, we've been contracted to deal with some of them, so I thought my intent was to let Hazel come and all of us come here because of her curiosity, but then also since I was here, see if you might have anything that might help give us a bit of an edge with dealing with this.
Um, we're a pretty simple potion shop, and most of our stock tends to be taken out by
By the mercs.
by the various merc crews.
Mm,
But I mean, I'm not a fighter. I'm not an adventurer. I've heard mention of sea hags, but I've
right.
never
Okay,
fought
well, clarity.
one.
You know their capabilities better than any of us. So what was it? It was fear. They can make you scared.
Yeah.
That was
Put you
the
to sleep, I remember.
right. Make or at
It's
least
not
render you
sleep.
unconscious.
It's
Yeah, it's not sleep. It's
literally
literally they drop you to
cautious.
0 hit points if they give you the right look while you're under the frightened status ailment, for lack of a better term.
Um,
Do you have anything that would be protective against maybe claws or help you see through illusions or help prevent against fear? Make me fortify a little bit.
Okay, way to keep claw damage to a minimum. It's called armor.
Well, I mean,
Claws
in
we can handle.
additions.
Yeah,
I
just-
just thought I'd ask because
That's
some of
fair.
us don't have armor, such as
Yeah,
Princess.
it's not. I mean, that's the thing. The potions only do so much.
Mhm.
Okay.
Fear, not a lot of things cure fear or give you resistance to it. It's either a product of your own will or the gods or whatever magics you've got. I've
Wait.
never found anything that
I
you
turn to
could.
everyone else. Fear, as in an emotion that needs to be calmed.
It doesn't work that way. Out of character, it doesn't work that way. It's a status ailment, not a. But yeah, no. As to claws, I did have I unfortunately the one thing that we do have that is protective against that sort of thing. It's complicated and expensive to make, and I did actually sell the last bottle of it anyway. Um, so that's fear. That's seeing through illusions. That's more of a magical item thing, which I think we had something like that pass through with May last year, but those goggles got bought out by a scout. I mean, I don't know if they're in town and you'd want to borrow them, but you'd need a specialized magic.
I mean, it's worth it to ask.
One thing you might want to consider, given sea hag, sea is right in the name. There is a possibility that if they do knock you unconscious with a look and you're standing up to like your knees in water and you fall down, you might have a problem.
Do you have potions of water breathing then?
I do have 3 potions of water breathing. They are a little costly.
How much?
You're looking at 30 gold per.
Ooh, all right.
Oof, that's a bit steep.
Yeah, you've seen the ingredients list.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. No, the price is fair. It's a bit steep for us, is what I'm saying. I apologize.
And then do you have healing potions?
We do. I mean, they're not as expensive, but you're still looking at 4 gold apiece for the regulars, 6 gold apiece for the graders.
All right.
And we do. I mean, we've got some in stock, but we do have to kind of. If it's not a Merc Company contract, we can only sell you 3 to go.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I'm examining the Dragonborn boot things.
They're not so much boots as a pair of sandals, and they're behind the counter.
Yeah, I'm
So-
like looking at them.
And you are looking at them, and Edvar's kind of ignoring you as long as you're not touching anything.
Excuse, do those do anything? I'm pointing at the sandals.
Oh, yeah, May came through with those. I don't know where she got them. I don't know if I wanna. I normally don't wanna. Some of the stuff she does scares me. They're. I'm trying to remember what it was she said they did. I'm gonna go check the notes that she left. You guys talk amongst yourselves about what you're gonna do about the potions on offer, and if you can think of anything else that you might need, because you clearly just sort of walked in here without discussing amongst yourselves what kind of ideas you were going to pursue. So, and he wanders off and starts flipping through.
Well, I definitely think the underwater breathing is a good thing if we can swing
That is a very good plan.
But it's also kind of.
Do you think they drag? I mean, if we're fighting them from the shore or cliffs, you said.
Well,
I mean, what are the odds we're going to be up to our knees in water?
Depending on where their nest is, pretty good.
Okay.
It's hard to say really until we actually get there.
I guess better be safe than sorry, yeah?
And we'll need them.
Could come in handy later.
Yeah, we'll need
even
them
if we
at some
don't use
point.
them.
I mean, let's put it this way.
Good. It's a good to have, and we're gonna be.
Let's put it this way. We've never found a potion that we didn't wind up using.
Yeah, what he said.
So the question then becomes,
How many of the other kind do you get?
I wonder if we can find the more of the ingredients. I wonder if there's time to find the more of the ingredients.
No, we're
before
leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, and are you an apothecary? Can you make potions? I mean, ingredients are fine, but they're not much use to anyone if you can't make the potions yourself.
Yeah, and
I
there's-
don't think
and even
making
if-
potions is a fast thing either.
Exactly. I was about to say, even if we had some way of getting them more ingredients, there's no guarantee that they
Overnight is not enough time, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just thinking out loud.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's
fair.
cool. I do that a lot.
Yep. But I definitely think even if we don't get the underwater breathing potions, at the very least, we might want to get a few more healing potions just to have, because those we've definitely used a lot of.
Right.
How do these healing potions work? You have to feed, like, the person has to drink them or splash with them or...
Drink.
You drink them.
Yeah, you drink
You
them.
drink them.
However, even if somebody is already unconscious, you can kind of prop their head up and dump one down into them. So, even if somebody's been,
And there's still me.
Right, but
right,
you can only do so much, Hazel.
that and
Mhm.
what if you're the one rendered unconscious?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at, kind of.
Yep.
Like we need some, but I think we should get like little. We should get the water ones and some healing stuff.
If we can.
I think the healing should have higher priority.
Agreed.
That's
Mhm.
you know,
Okay.
more versatile.
I mean,
I don't know about. I think we should have maybe a couple water breathing potions just in case when we get there that it's very watery, and not on the cliffs or something.
Well, they wouldn't be on cliffs. I mean, they'd be like, like the bottom part where the water meets the base. So there's usually a something down there.
So
And you
filtration.
don't know what the nest looks like. It's entirely possible that there might be pools of water. What if they need to sleep in it? That's the thing. You know they breathe air and water. You don't know which they prefer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think be sparing with the water breathing, but on a
Maybe even just one.
sort of
if that.
situational, yeah, on a situational sort of thing.
Okay.
And save
it
it for
might
later.
it might
if we need
occur it might occur to you that there's exactly one of you who might have a significant problem because they're wearing a terrible lot of metal. So even if you just got one for Remy.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
can't swim very well with the armor then, right, Remy?
That would be problematic, yes.
Yeah.
It's harder than it needs to be anyway.
it's covered in metal. He's gonna sink like, well, a proverbial
She.
sheep. Sorry. She's gonna sink like a proverbial rock encased in metal.
Right. That's being
Well,
sarcastic.
Yeah, armor, it moves with you, but the weight's gonna drop her to the bottom.
Anyway,
How many potions did Ever say that he had
didn't say
for healing?
Yeah, we could get up to three. Whether
to
that
three
was
of
three of
each.
each or three total, I don't know. That wasn't clear, but we'll ask him here in a minute.
I mean, we can get 3 of each if we can, and then because that's within our budget, I would say. Healing potions are important. Maybe 1 or 2 of the water breathing.
I think we only need the one. I don't
All
think we
right.
need more than that.
Yeah.
I prefer not to blow all our money here.
Yeah.
And not to mention
Little
that
traces and,
Hazel's still looking at those boots, or well, sandalish things.
And yeah, Hazel was talking about those shoes or sandals or
Well,
whatever.
I'd like to see what else they've got.
Oh,
Just to
there's a
see.
cloak over
Yeah,
there, and
Edvar's sort of looking up. He's clearly not intruding on your conversation, but he's got the posture that indicates whenever you're ready.
no. Oh, I think he's done.
Yep. Okay. These sandals, as far as anyone's been able to tell, because everything in this shop has been gone over by the by the Academy's checkover squad, so they're safe to sell. These ones, weird sort of thing. Not entirely sure where they come from, but it's a monkey kind of a thing. You click the heels on them, and anything you're in the middle of fighting doesn't. They sort of tune you out for a second. Translation, click the heels together, and you can disengage as a part of your movement. So you won't provoke an attack of opportunity if you're getting out of range. I mean, obviously you can't just keep using and keep using and keep using it. They recharge or something, but I think you get like 3. No, you get 3 charges per day, and they recharge at dawn. I think you gotta meditate with them for a little while to get them charged to you, if you see what I mean. But I don't know how much use they're going to be to you. They're magical, so they might go to fit you, but they don't really look like they were designed for.
Well, I mean, as luck would have it, we do have a dragonborn companion with us. He's just off. He's a little busy. So we could have use of them, depending on how much they were. But then
Those
I have to ask, how likely are you to find a dragonborn that would need them? And
more than you'd think, probably.
oh,
And was there anything else you were interested in?
when you said 3 healing potions, was that total or each?
I'm gonna say if you took 3 of the regulars, you could only take 2 of the graders.
That's fair. That's fair. Do we want to go ahead and get that many, or?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm staring at the one surviving tea tray and not saying very much.
Just watching it bonk, 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 bonk. In the back of my head, I'm like, wow, it's actually got a nice rhythm to it. I'm kind of liking that cadence there.
I don't have much money on me, and by
It's
not
all right.
much, I mean hardly any.
No,
You're part of our party now. And,
Yeah. Your family. It all comes out in the wash.
Ever seen an elf blush?
You'll get used to it eventually.
I take it you are also interested in magical items of various types.
Yes.
Well, we do
Yeah.
have a couple of bits and pieces in. And I noticed your elven friend there pointing at the cape. This is a cape of the Mountebank. Any of you heard of the spell Dimension Door?
Ooh, yes, I have.
Well, that one does actually let you cast it once per day. A little steep though, if you're looking at if you're looking at having it. You might actually be better off if you only want a part-time use of it to hit up the tattoo parlor.
Yep, that's actually where we heard of the spell. So yes, yeah, that's a fair point.
We've also got an interesting little bit, but it takes somebody who can cast spells to actually use the thing. He reaches under the counter and pulls out sort of an off gold circlet, sort of a sun-looking pattern with a diamond set into the center of it. This is a circlet of blasting. Any of you heard of the spell Scorching Ray?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you can cast that once a day with a bit more. It actually helps you with the attack as well. Basically, circlet of blasting. Use an action to cast the Scorching Ray spell. When you make the spell's attacks, you do so with an attack bonus of +5. The circlet can't be used this way again until next dawn. It's a once per day thing, but
How much were the sandals?
the sandals are 30 gold.
30.
Again, at least in part because there are some people who would be willing enough to buy it, but it'd be more if it was there'd be more demand if it was straight up designed for a different shape of feet.
Exactly.
And you wanted defense, right?
It would be
Sure.
nice.
Pulls out a sort of complicated looking brooch. One arrow pointed down and next to and another arrow pointed sideways to the arrow. It's sort of a bronzish color. This is a brooch of shielding. Again, it's one of those ones you've got to kind of meditate with. Have any of you ever heard of magic missile?
Oh, yes.
That gives you immunity to damage from it, and makes you resistant to force damage.
Huh. Is there anything that upstairs does that is also here, or is that only these things?
These are the only things we can sell. We've also got bracers of defense. They only work if you don't wear armor and aren't carrying a shield, though. Some of you might be thinking of Froseth right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much
Is
are
that-
those?
Those ones are 40 gold. It's a +2 to your AC bonus, by the way, which I can't obviously say in character because.
Right. Do you ever have use of gemstones?
I don't so much. I don't actually make. I make potions. Most of them do not require gemstones. But if you really want to either earn some credit or get someone to take some jewels off your hands, I could introduce you to Allie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love to meet Ali. She sounds interesting from all the yelling upstairs.
Allie!
That's
Somebody wants to sell you things. Yee! And sliding down the banister from the stairs behind the counter is this tall, lanky, bright red-haired, half-elven woman, soot across her face, soot across her clothes, leather apron, this tool of that defies description. It sort of looks like it has some kind of gemstone on the end, and it's going and just completely
just about-
ignoring the noise coming from it. Hi!
Hi.
Well, that's
What
just
is
really
that?
awkward.
Why is it making noise?
Oh, I forgot to turn it off. Whacks it against the counter a couple of times. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam.
What?
Yeah, well, flings it over her shoulder. Something hits. It hits a counter. Something goes smash. And Edvar is just, Allie. Sorry.
Hazel, are you related? She's done that with a hammer a time or two. Anyway,
And Lucifer peers over. Ooh! And vaults over the counter. And basically goes up to Hazel and is the hammer in the back.
The hammer is. I mean, yeah, I think earlier it was mentioned there was it was strapped.
Along across the back, yeah.
Yeah, it's been there since we got to town.
At which point it really is just grabs the head of the hammer. Ooh! Steel singer!
Yeah, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, hang on. We found this in a manner. I'm pulling out that old ornate dagger that we found. I mean, it's probably not great for any kind of actual use, but it's shiny and there's gems in it.
Grabs it. Why for you give me this? Go
I mean, you could
sell
use it for
to-
parts.
Go sell it to a Baron's Fear Noble. Parts aren't worth it. Parts aren't worth crap.
Good to know. Thank you.
I do
Toss
have
it back at you.
this bag of
Stuff it back in
gemstones
the
though.
bag.
Ooh.
Might be used for component parts of things.
Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick.
How much stuff do you make if there's these and then whatever?
Oh yeah, does anybody have like a tray? Darvin, you've actually picked up a serving tray with
Did
amethyst
someone say
violet?
tray?
This is Ali going, I need more trays. They won't sell me.
And where would that be? Okay. Oh,
It'd probably be in Clarity's bag of
yeah,
holding.
Clarity. I think you have the one I picked up. I think I picked up one from.
Silver tray with amethyst violets on it, and yeah, when she thinks
Okay,
of that,
I'll have to think about it. All right.
and yep, there
Oh,
it is.
there it is. Didn't know it was in there, but you did.
Bing, 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 bing. 60 gold.
Right.
How much total did I say the gemstones were worth? Since you've been collecting them for a while, and I don't remember.
Yeah, same.
These were particularly ones that we had found in Star Coast. Because I think we sold off the other ones.
Yes, we did.
Well, you wait. You sold off the first ones you found in Star Coast, but then
Right.
there were the second ones in Star Coast and the ones from Vengeance Hold, which you hadn't sold, which is
Oh,
why
I
you
didn't-
still have the tea tray.
Yes.
There's been exchanging of bags of holding, so it's a little. Let's see, sending her.
Not to mention the fact that Sigwald took a diamond that was worth at least 50, and Hazel took 100 gold worth of diamonds out of the bag of gems. So you need to subtract 150 from whatever that would have been.
I have. Let's see. I don't remember.
Okay. In which case,
Reroll.
we're gonna call it with the subtractions. It would have been a lot more without the subtractions, but you're looking at 350 gold total, given that people have been yoinking for spell components. So she's rummaging through, looking at the occasional one or two, and in one case it's yee.
Good sign.
How about a bag of gemstones and the tray, and we'll go with 420.
Let's do some math. $400.
Can we compromise on 410?
Looks at Edvar. Edvar just 400, and we throw in the regular healing potions.
Done.
Done.
And he sets those on the counter. And Edvar's like, sorry, are you going to be turning any of that gold into items so that I don't have to be counting it out? Because that's a heavy lot of gold right there. So
That's fine. Well, do you think that Frosith would appreciate the sandals more or the braces of defense?
Well, with what we got, we can get them both.
Yeah.
So why not?
All right.
given the number of times he's been knocked unconscious the last while.
I was about to actually mention that. Given you remember, oh, Lord, there was the time he got sliced in half. There was the time he got battered upside the head.
There was the Earth Elemental,
which is actually.
Hold on, I want to hear more about the sliced in half thing.
Oh well, no, it wasn't entirely in half.
But you're pretty sure that the barnacle dude's sword arm caught him in the heart.
Yeah, remember there was the sword, big sword arm thingy, kind of got him right, probably right in the heart. Yeah, so.
We need him to be less liable to go.
Yep.
And if he has the disengaged sandals, if he gets himself into a sticky situation, he can back off and swig a healing potion.
So yeah, these are things that will help him greatly, and he needs it. Really, all I need is to stop putting myself in positions where I can be turned to stone.
So this is the one that I haven't met yet.
Right.
Yes.
He's our companion.
Yeah.
He is at the ink and paint. He is getting done up. He will be
Arcane Ink.
Arcane Ink. Bleh. Sorry. He is the one at Arcane Ink getting
Yeah.
arcanely inked, and he will be joining us when he is done.
Ed Farr's going, I actually make their ink, so I know
Oh.
them pretty well.
Oh.
That's great.
Well, I help them make their ink, more to the point. I supply ink base and a fair few of the components, but they actually do the enchantment part of it themselves, because it mixes with the glyphs funny. But a few of those gemstones, Allie, are going to be found in my ink, so you can't have them all. Oh, okay. And pulls out this really pretty rectangle cut emerald. I'm keeping this! Mine!
What's that going into?
Things!
Now I actually want to know. What are the things? You keep saying things, and now I want to know.
You're just gonna have to come back and see if it doesn't blow up, Allie. There's only about 55% chance that it's gonna blow up.
Why do they blow up?
Hey, to be fair, we've done things with worse odds than that, and we're
Because magic is fun! And it goes boom!
yeah. I mean, she's not wrong.
But if it works, there will be crispy.
Yeah, we're gonna have.
I look down at the tea tray, over at her, back at the tea tray, over at her.
And she's just cackling over this.
Yeah, we may have to come back later. This is.
Oh,
Please,
we are
whatever
definitely
you
coming
do
back.
not make these explode.
What? The trays? Oh yeah.
At
Anyway.
which point, the one that's been bumping into the wall has one final bump. Boom! I meant to do that!
How many pieces is it in at this point?
It's
Just another
Did it-
tray in the wall.
It is an X-tray.
pretty much, yeah. It's a lump of twisted metal.
What the?
I meant it to do that.
Okay.
In all fairness, that was probably the nicest thing that could have happened to it at this point in its existence.
Anyway.
It was good. It was just really single-minded. It was dumb as a post. But that's still more intelligence than you expect from most tea trays. If they're going to be tea trays, could you at least have them at tea serving height next time? Longer legs!
No, they're going to be harder to stand on and get rid of.
She's not listening. She's up the stairs and gone.
Well, anyway, now that we've concluded,
Do you lot frequently go around giving people bad ideas?
Yes. Definitely.
anyway, so we're going to get the 3 regular healing
'Kay.
potions, the 2 greater
Well,
potions,
Those came with those.
the gems.
right, and
Right.
the
2 graters,
Right.
1 water breathing, the sandals, and the braces of defense. So 40 plus 30 for the items, 30 for the water breathing. So that's already an even 100. Plus 2 greater healing, that's 6 each for a total of 12. So 112. And I've already done the math. 400 minus 112, it's 288 that you owe us with the stuff.
I think we can about manage that. Rummages around through a chest in the back, which screams when he puts the key in until he hits it a couple of times. Paylor, take it, Allie! What? It's screaming at me again. Can you at least get it to recognize the key? It should. Did you try being nice to it? Yes. Then why isn't it working? It does if I hit it. There you go, then!
I was about to say, I don't think hitting it was very nice, but I mean, I understand the frustration.
It's the only thing that works. Look, wham, wham, click, book.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Probably
I
easier
love this
if I
place.
try living here. I'm not surprised that Lyra went into the cleric hood. Honestly, managed here without yelling once.
It's probably quieter.
She never yelled. She never complained. She has the patience of gods. I'm telling you. Okay, maybe not yours, pointing at Remy, but your god's not supposed to be patient. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to give you some of this in platinum. So, the 200 is in platinums, so that's 20 platinum pieces, and the rest in gold. It's easier for me. It's easier for you.
All right.
So we've had several bags of holding go through the years, and they tend towards it. They've got a limit. It's a very big limit, but it's a limit all the same.
Okay.
So, hands you that. Up the boots and the bracers. Packages up the healing potions separately, and then looks at you all and is like, "Don't take this the wrong way, but usually on order of this size, I throw in a little bar of the homemade soap. If you want to have a quick look," and points at the.
Yeah, sure.
It's a fair variety of scents, from the floral to the spicy to the woodsy.
Have anything in a nice honeysuckle?
He rummages through. Actually, we do have honeysuckle and jasmine. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm just going to go through until I find something that fits me. I don't know what that would actually be.
There's actually one that smells a little bit like the warm apple cider that William Miranda
That works.
serve up. Nye pretty much immediately is handed something that smells woodlandish, not quite like home, but close. Remy just gets pretty basic damn soap. It's easier on the skin than the lye stuff that she often winds up using, but
That's
not
fair.
scented or perfumed or anything. We've heard stories. We didn't think he'd appreciate it. And Hazel winds up with something that's sort of chestnut and gingerbready kind of smelling.
I kind of glance over at Clarity and go, I'm surprised you didn't get some that smelled like blueberries. Anyway.
Bad memories from the pie eating contest.
Yep. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry, Clarity.
It's all right.
I'm sure you'll make me pay for it later.
Let's see. Alrighty. Where are we headed to next?
Maybe the steel singer place.
Let's see. Let's see. Well,
We are all over this place. Sugar
Yeah.
and spice is close by, though.
Well, we were gonna stop by there, either on our way out or on our way to back to the bakery for dinner. Not which was tomorrow night, I believe.
Yes. In all fairness, your closest shop is actually the Doll's House up there.
Ah, yes, it is. I don't remember what they sold.
It's a toy store, magical
Oh,
toy
that's
store.
right.
But again, that's probably something you're gonna want to
On
stop
the
by
way out.
and do after some of the shit you have to do.
Magical toy store and the lunatic from upstairs doesn't work there.
I mean, that's a fair point. Was that in character?
No.
Okay.
Forgot to do the hands, but responding to something out of character, so.
Okay, fair. Um, let's see. Where is...
Oh, there was something that I wanted to buy, and I asked Edvar, do you know where I would be able to purchase a Book of Enduring? Companion of ours had one, and I've been meaning to also get one.
Oh, there's stalls up and down the central market. Just poke around until you find one. They're actually fairly common. I don't know why he missed them if he's only just heard of them now. So,
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. In that case, yeah. I mean, that's definitely something you would find highly useful. So, and I think yeah, we can go ahead and do that, and we can poke around and see, what if there's anything else. We can just look around. I mean, we don't need to go to any particular shop. We can just check out some of the stalls at this point.
well, from the looks of things, you're going to be winding up going through the central open market here.
Right.
You might wind up heading towards Travistock's Trinkets, which is the magical jewelry bits
Yeah.
and pieces. But given that we're starting to run relatively low on time,
Mm-hmm.
what we will say is that Clarity can find a book of enduring in any color or pattern she likes. The best bargain is a fairly thick one, which also comes equipped with little photo corners, so she can tuck note pages into it in certain spots in the middle, which will cost her 5 gold total, but it should last her to out of character. You're level 20.
Okay. I will get that then.
Andre does stop and buys everyone caramel apples. Nai's probably never had caramel apples.
Hold on, I'm looking for an appropriate prop. This may take me a second.
Ah!
I don't happen to have an apple on a stick laying around my desk, so a screwdriver will suffice for the moment. Why would you do this to a perfectly good apple?
Just try
They're good.
Just try it.
Interesting.
Darwin
I
probably
feel-
gets a bunch of caramel stuck in his. Damn it! This wasn't made for beards.
I thought Darwin was clean shaven, or at least according to his picture he is.
He hasn't. I haven't had. He hasn't had a chance to deal with it in a minute.
At which point you just get you get Andre just prestidigitation.
Oh, I was about to do that. Thank you.
Hey, I can do that too.
It's probably the most useful cantrip that
Yep.
exists at any point.
Yep.
Which reminds me, I have a question for you later about that.
Okay, noted. Is there anything anyone else in specific is looking for?
Me, boots of haste.
Yeah, you're not going to find those in the main market. There's a few shops you can probably get them from, but it's one of those things where it would, We'll say that you could probably be directed to a shop where you could get boots of haste. They will cost you 40 gold.
Since I don't have enough personal, I'm asking if that would. I'm asking everyone, would that?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Got presents for Seth. Might as well get a present for you.
Yeah, mostly it's Hazel worrying about getting to people in time to heal them.
I mean, yeah, I mean, thinking on it, having the one with, keeping us upright, being able to get to us quicker is not a bad idea. So yeah, I'm again for that. I can't think of anything in the immediate that would help myself at all be more effective that we could actually afford.
Yet, anyway,
Right.
you don't know what and there were a few bits and pieces over at Arcane Inc. you were probably eyeing. Yes,
Exactly.
I will have that list for you in a couple of weeks. I just knew it wasn't going to be necessary
Right.
today
Mm-hmm.
because most of our time was going to be devoted to new guy.
Shopping and new person.
Yes, and passing by some of the stalls, Hazel will probably have her eye caught by a non-magical jewelry, but she had been looking for a pendant for Skylar for Bahamut, and she sees a few of those. Your best value, particularly for a rough and tumble little girl on a farm who's probably going to want to carry it for the rest of her life, is a platinum one that, surprisingly enough, only goes for 5 gold. So
I will happily hand that off out of personal funds.
Um, I'm gonna see about maybe grabbing another nicer shirt or two, just to have options. Maybe something in different shades of, because I've got the nice purple one, but maybe something
well,
similar.
the purple is more of a coat than
Ah,
what Darvin does find actually is there's an armor stall,
hmm.
which you wouldn't expect something that seems to be marketing itself as magical armor in some way, shape, or form in something so open. Turns out their only enchantment is it's plain old leather armor, but the gentleman, a human, not bad looking, but the guy modeling it um, is actually, he says, "You, sir, I will demonstrate what this armor can do," and looks at Darwin's outfit for a minute, thinks, and then the armor that he was wearing looks like Darwin's outfit.
Ooh.
That's fancy.
Basically, this armor can look like anything, any clothes you want. It doesn't protect you any better or any worse, but
Nice trick.
if nothing else, it makes you look like you're not necessarily wearing armor when you are. Sometimes it gives an enemy a bit of pause.
Yeah, I am definitely interested. I'm intrigued.
And that's 5 gold, the basic set.
I can swing that out of personal even. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. No need to
And
bag it
so,
up. I'll wear it out.
yeah, I mean, it's basically standard leather armor. So it's the same stats as yours, but now you can actually have it look however you want, and
Right.
if you just clean it regularly and you're good, basically from then on.
So yeah, that's definitely gonna be a thing. Awesome. But yeah, so far as anybody else can tell, I'm still wearing the exact same outfit I was.
Although given the sentimental value, you've probably still got Xana's coat.
Yeah, no. The coat's still over, and I'm still, the pendant's still there. I'm still wearing the locket, and yeah. But as far as everything else, yeah.
And Clarity's now got her Book of Enduring. Hazel's got her Boots of Haste and her Bahamut pendant, and it's probably a little bit strange for Nye just to have Hazel come out with this pendant and just going yee.
Hey, Nye,
Yeah?
you need something? Consider it a welcoming gift.
Pick something.
I got friends. What else do I need?
Oh, you're adorable.
I mean, on a serious note, I mean, you're already buying things that I can use if we needed to survive. If I need to survive tomorrow, I have armor. I have a weapon. I don't know about all these fancy things that you guys are getting for yourselves, but I'm sure at some point I'll know about them.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I mean it's all. I mean we're all getting things to. These aren't frivolous. Let's put it that way.
Flitty lands on Darvin's shoulder and says in Draconic this time, well, you can just get Jenna to make him a thing later.
Good. And that's all I say. I just very, very softly just good.
Then switches to Sylvan, though you could probably use armor that fits a little better.
Does that make it work better?
It might get tangled in things. They had to fight living plant things. You've heard of vine blights.
Yeah, we've fought some vine blights a couple of times and some twig blights a couple of times. And...
I mean, at the very least, what you could probably do is, I mean, the armor that Darvin's got is pretty basic, wasn't that expensive, and it does give him a little bit of frivolity as well. So you could just sort of chuck party funds at that and let him wear it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually need my old armor now, so you're welcome to it if it'll fit. I mean, you're roughly...
It probably won't. Your armor wasn't magical armor, so
well,
it's
yeah.
not a fits all. And he's a little shorter than you and wirier than you.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're not so far from me.
But it'd be the same problem. What he has fits basically.
Well, here's another thought. We could find somebody that has armor in your size and sell them my old armor and possibly see what we could get for what you're wearing already. And then you could get armor that actually fit.
See, previous comment about blushing elf.
You're part of our party. We want you to look like you belong to us. Or with us.
Is that why the dragon has a collar?
That's a pendant. Didn't you look? See the pendant? And
you've got Flitty going.
Look, Flitty doesn't belong to us.
It's a pretty. They belong to me.
Exactly. Thank you, Flitty. I was going to tell us that's exactly what I was going to say.
Actually, the wrong color, but.
Oh, good lord.
Shoulder dragon.
Rain.
But yes, if you do look, you will find we buy, we sell, we trade for armor.
So yeah, that's exactly the plan. Basically, throw my old armor and what Nye's already wearing at them and go, here, do you have armor that will fit him? Leather armor that will fit.
For the two sets, you get them looking at him. This is a gnome, so you have them up and down this step ladder, basically, making measurements. Inseam is interesting. And they come out with, for those 2 sets of armor, you get 1 set of, and it's a nice deep brown, chased in places with green.
Now that is my favorite color.
And it does fit perfectly. So.
All right. Now you look the part.
And by around that point, you've probably made arrangements, to meet Froseth at the Book, Bow, and Dragon a little bit before Darvin's performance. Actually, no, because you would have wanted to grab dinner,
yes.
which you've actually paid for first.
Yes.
So we'll say you arranged to meet at the Bravo's Boast about an hour before your command performance was supposed to be.
Yep.
And you're getting to the point now where you need to start heading back. Plus, you need to show Nye where you're all staying anyway.
Yep. So we'll swing back by, and I'll quickly just run him up and be like, "That's the room." And run back down, eat, get that situated.
Yeah. Well, because Froseth would probably meet you there. Let's say we'll cover that part of it next session.
Exactly.
But you do get Maury sort of, because of course it's just as well to explain that this is now the guy. Because you've got new guy.
Yep.
Same number of rooms, same number of beds. Just it's this one now.
Yep.
Oh, so second. Shared room, good.
Yeah, I mean, Maury, who's the halfling that runs the place, does seem to know a little bit about, a full elf and sort of going. If you wanted someplace a little bit more private to be trouncing in, usually around the normal sleep times, we do have sort of not quite rooms downstairs, but snug, so you can just sit down.
No. Other people good. Other people around good.
Looks at you for a minute. Rummages. And comes out with a little glass bowl with a small candle in it. Hands it to you. That one's lavender, but if you wanted another scent, that.
Well, this will be wonderful. Thank you.
It's dim enough so that it won't disturb anyone else in the room. It's just Remy probably recognizes what Maury's doing. She's dealt with a lot of people with various different types of PTSD, having come in from really bad situations. So she's kind of assuming that, Nye is another merc in that situation. And obviously no one's going to disabuse her of that notion, but this is part of why the Bravo's Boast is one of the nicer spots for mercs. Was there anything Remy wanted in the shopping, by the way? Because you haven't said a word.
I mean, I'm just thinking practically minded. We got the potions. Can't really think of anything else.
Yes, I imagine they would have been pretty much right to the Bravo's Boast when someone, probably Darvin, would have gone, Remy! Anything you need. You're unmuted, Ethan.
Sorry. Yeah. That would have basically right after everybody else and we got the armor situated. The armor had been like, armor, the armored one. Remy, do you need anything?
No, I don't think so. Remy's happy with potions and snacks.
Okay.
I mean, keep in mind that Remy's got you do have a Flitty sitting on my shoulder and going, she got good armor and good shield.
And soon, real good sword.
Well, she already has a good sword. She'll have a better sword, which I don't want her to point at me, please.
No,
I'm
never,
enough dragon for a problem.
never,
Yeah.
never. Flitty family.
Okay. This
And nobody else
seems
knows.
to.
Nobody else knows what I said. All you heard me was say never, never. Flitty family.
I think they can probably kind of figure it out from that and the fact that Flitty is sort of scrunched on Nye's shoulder. Seems to quite like Nye. So that's a point in his favor. And as we have come to about that time, we will reconvene in 2 weeks' time when Darwin finally headlines the book Bow and Dragon, and more than likely you get to encounter sea hags.
To be fair, I was deliberately putting off because I want Froseth here
Fair enough. Fair
for
enough.
the performance.
But
Anyway,
yeah,
let me go
yeah.
ahead and
So
stop recording.